with the third quarter, and a great second quarter by Footscray sees them leading by 24 points. It's Ford against Purser. Purser's play well, but Ford wins out on that occasion. A quick kick over the shoulder by Gotch, nearly marked by Narkle. Egan is there, pushes it back to Kellett. Was that Rance? No, that was Rance. Jep falls on the ball, pushes along the ground towards Wallace. Cronin falls over. Egan back again, pushes it wide for Jep, who uses the body well to get in front of Coghlan. Don't know what the effort was all about, because the boundary line was too close.
Between half forward flank and wing on the member side of the ground, Purser gets the tap out, goes down towards Royal. Narkle on the bottom of the pack, takes the ball away. No, he can't break clear, and umpire Saville decides on a bounce. The ball about 85 metres around from the St Kilda goal. The Saints trail by 24 points after a brilliant second quarter by the Bulldogs, in which they kicked 8 goals to 4. A bounce, low, and Purser. Ball goes to Malin. Malin feeds it to Royal. Royal's kick up towards centre wing. No Footscray players there. Alistair Ford for St Kilda kicks it high. It's a poor kick by Ford over the boundary line, and a free kick to the Footscray side for out of bounds on the full on centre wing member side of the ground, the recipient Phil Malin.
Malin, who started on the interchange, does a lot of the heavy work in the packs. Crow's the target, but he was well spoiled by Gamble and also Ford. Cronin, one of St Kilda's top kick getters up until the half-time with 10, tried to break through the pack, but to no avail. And there'll be a bounce between wing and half forward for Footscray. Footscray leading by 24 points. That was the margin at half-time. Crow nicely done, but straight to McConville, who was claimed in a vice-like grip by Malin. The umpire said it was held to him. So there's going to be another bounce. Yeah.
Premiership teammates, would that be?
You're the Carlton.
Malin and McConville. Yeah, well, it's a big chance.
Would be.
Wallace breaks clear for Footscray, kicks it towards centre half forward. A good take there by, looks like Cunningham. He's been penalised for dropping the ball. It was Trevor Barker. Another one of the blondes at St Kilda, and the free kick will be taken by McGuinness. He's not a bad kick of the football, Tony McGuinness. He's inside the 50-metre line. It's his 7th kick. He's already kicked 1 goal. Nice long kick, offline. In the forward pocket, kicked by Crow for a goal. Another goal to Footscray. They now lead by 30 points at the 2.5-minute mark of the third quarter.
Once again, very, very loose defence by St Kilda, and they failed to put the pressure on Footscray. In fact, I think they go to sleep. I think they think the ball is either going out of bounds or through for a behind, go to sleep, and that allowed Crow to come in and kick his second goal. So good effort by Max Crow. Max Crow's second goal, 30 points lead to Footscray, but Royal's got it out of the centre. He was the catalyst of the revival of Footscray. Frawley, a costly mistake. Beasley, a shot for goal, but he's well offline. In fact, it's through for a behind. That was a high kick. It was hard to tell whether it was out of bounds on the full or through for a behind, but it was there for a behind. But Frawley, desperate, backed his own judgment. Didn't quite get to it, and Beasley had the big opportunity then to goal.
McGuinness would be crook on him. Kicked in towards Barker. Hardy tries to get round Barker. Boundary throw in, half forward flank. Slightly favouring Footscray. They lead by 31 points, the Bulldogs, at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Crow gets the tap out. Goes down towards Petraglia. He's on the bottom of the pack. Crow can't break clear. Now the bounce will take place about 80 metres out from the Footscray goal, between half-forward flank and centre wing on the member side of the ground at Moorabbin, where the ground is in perfect condition for the vital clash between St Kilda looking for their first victory and Footscray striving to gain a place in the 5. Ball at half-forward, Barker and Hardy. Free kick to Trevor Barker on this occasion, and the cheers or jeers or whatever you like to call them from St Kilda fans, because they are completely dissatisfied with these two umpires. Now a 15-metre penalty imposed on Hardy, and he doesn't come back on the mark anyway, but Barker goes on with play and kicks it to Gamble in the centre of the ground.
Gamble looking for the 15 metres, runs around past McLean, looking for Cronin, can't get it. Peter Baxter trying to go through, he can't get it, but eventually picked up by Wallace. Steve McPherson, well spoiled by McConville, but he punches it right into the hands of Mayland. Mayland to Steve McPherson. McPherson lines the goals up, has a long shot, but he's offline and through for a behind. Well, that looked dangerous for St Kilda then, as McPherson had plenty of time to steady. He was a long way out, but had a good sight of the goals. And it's Footscray now, 11-8-74 to St Kilda, 6-6-42.
Kicked in by Frawley, Members side of the ground wing, punched away by Purser, intercepted by Burns, gives it to Fashini. Fashini to centre half forward, in front. Oh, good mark by Rance. Oh, fair mark, St Kilda fans, come on. Murray Rance for Footscray, left foot kick, out towards half forward flank, Members side of the ground. Crow, Royal does brilliant roving, kicks it quickly to half forward, intercepted by Collins. He's under lots of pressure from McGuinness. McPherson can't control it. Collins goes after it again. Barker there for St Kilda, can't break clear. Silvio Fashini hassled and bastled by Hardy. McGuinness threads the hand pass to Royal, who makes space for himself and kicks to full forward. McPherson takes the mark right in front of goals, 30 metres out. A chance to kick Footscray's 12th goal. It's Steve McPherson's 4th mark. He hasn't kicked a goal as yet, but a big chance here. Steve McPherson goes bang with the right foot, and another goal to Footscray, and it looks so easy for them. They now lead by 38 points at the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, Royal has been the dominant rover. In fact, Royal and Petraglia were the players that really set Footscray alight in that second quarter, in which saw them leading by 24 points at half-time. But Brian Royal has been taking the St Kilda small men apart. Although I guess Bradley Gotch has chipped in, but he hasn't been consistent as far as St Kilda's been concerned. 38 points lead now to Footscray. Purser dominates the ruck, gets it down to Mayland. Mayland's long kick up into the half-forward line. McGuinness couldn't get it. Gamble loses the run of it. McGuinness has got it now. Nearly threw it out to Hardy, who was running past. Hardy still got it. Royal again out of the pack. A shot for goal. It's drifting back in. It's a goal. Oh, magnificent goal to Brian Royal, and that's his 2nd. And the Bulldogs, there's no hoodoo on them today. They're certainly doing it well at Moorabbin. They haven't won here in 2 years. And at the other end of the ground, Kennedy is walking up to the centre square and is really urging the players on. That's what we want, fellas, as we march towards perhaps a place in the final 5.
Well, they may also have heard more from VFL Park, where Collingwood was 7 goals in front of Essendon at half-time. And Footscray going right on with it after an 8-goal second quarter. Purser dominating centre bounces. Gotch is tackled by Mayland quite fairly, and another bounce will take place some 15 metres, maybe only 10 metres away from the centre circle. Footscray lead by 44 points, 9 minutes into the 3rd quarter.
From the centre bounce, Narkle out wide to Elphingston. Elphingston 50 metres out from goal, drives the ball forward, but the distance was well and truly there, but the direction was not. And St Kilda need plenty of goals and not behinds if they're to get into this match. They're trailing by 33 points at the 8-minute mark of this 3rd quarter.
Ball kicked into half-back Members side of the ground. Cunningham does well to spoil. Wallace is there for Footscray. Boundary line too close, and a throw in. Boys getting a little excited down there. Stephen Wallace and Jeff Cunningham. But play will go on as boundary umpire takes control. Throw in about 75 metres around from the St Kilda goal. Good strong play by Purser. Bustled Lockett out of the play. Free kick there to Footscray. Brian Royal, the player, on the bottom of the pack. Goes on quickly with play. Runs around Lockett. Cronin, the man on the mark, didn't do much chasing. Gamble under pressure at centre half back. Well, if that was a hand pass, I'm a Dutchman. But anyway, Ford gets it out. Petraglia picks up the crumbs, goes up the full forward at the back of the pack. Beasley. Petraglia had him in his sights, and it was a good pass by Angelo Petraglia, and Simon Beasley has taken the mark. about 35 to 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Beasley's already kicked 3 goals, a chance to kick his 4th, and Footscray's 14th. Beasley punts for goal. Goal umpire moves across, but it's a goal to Beasley, and Footscray go marching on.
And that's Beasley's 4th goal, and that's his 42nd for the season. So certainly hit his straps after a poor first quarter, where Frawley had the better of him. But Beasley, with the players like Royal and Petraglia coming downfield and passing to him like that, there's nothing much that the defence of St Kilda can do. Centre bounce again. It's Ford getting it down. Gotch just never gives up. Puts it wide for Lockett. No, it's Grant. Grant tries to pick it up. He does beautifully, but his tackle gets the hand pass towards Lockett. Grant's as cool as you like down to Kennedy. Kennedy's clearing kick wide for Wallace. Wallace traps it. Elphinston comes at him. Wallace kicks up to Hardy. A beautiful pass finds Hardy, and the little fella takes off. Ginger Meggs into the forward pocket, and the mark has been taken by McGuinness. Well, he's a long way up from the forward pocket. He's at the 50-metre mark. Now he gets the lead from Beasley. A beautiful pass. Some lovely leading by Beasley. Frawley gets into the back of Beasley at the last minute. Has incurred a 15 metres penalty, which I think was a little stiff.
Well, I suppose we're a little too far away for us to judge. Maybe the umpire saw something as Frawley went to the ground, but the 15-metre penalty has certainly put Beasley in a good position. Coming up for his 5th goal. Goal umpire moves across, but it's another goal to Beasley. His 5th, and Footscray, with very little opposition, go to a lead of 55 points at the 10-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, there's not much we can say about St Kilda. They just seem to lack the basic skills and talent. Five goals to Beasley. Ford gets the tap down. Malin. Away go the Scraggers again, this time through Wallace. His kick though finds Hawkins. Over the top to Royal, who's been brilliant. To Petraglia, another brilliant little fellow. Malin tells him to go towards goal, and he does, and he's put it through. And it's oh so easily. And that's Petraglia's 4th goal.
Ten kicks and to Angelo Petraglia, and 4 goals to him, 2 goals to Royal, and they've been dominant rovers, the Footscray pair. 16-8 plays 6 goals 7, 13 minutes into the 3rd quarter. It's all Footscray. They've kicked 6 goals in that 13 minutes since half-time. Ford gets the tap out, goes to centre half forward. Lockett can't control it. Malin has it. Quick kick. Ford intercepts. Down to the ground. Narkle can't break clear. Held when didn't have possession of the football. Play on, says umpire Saville. Ball goes to Cunningham. Cunningham goes for goal. Offline. And a behind to St Kilda. 6-8 plays 16-8. 14 minutes into the 3rd quarter.
10 goals the difference, favouring Footscray. Beautiful kick in by Rance to McLean. McLean wrong foots Elphinston. Oh, hand pass to Jet. Nearly didn't come off. No, that was Baxter. Baxter's kick into the centre of the ground. Manning can't go with it. Tries to get it. Malin's a bit short. Too slow. Brought down by Manning. Clown says the umpire. Gotch gets the hand pass wide to Cronin. St Kilda's best kick getter. For Sheeny the chance. Rance the fist. Chance now for Cronin. Chips at goal, but he's well and truly offline and through for a behind. And Fashini is down. And
well, what a
doesn't look good.
What a hospital kick that was from Cronin. That was a terrible kick because Fashini had 20 metres on Rance. There's the culprit. Murray Rance kicking in for Footscray. Members side of the ground, and Hawkins takes a good mark in front of his opponent Cunningham, as Silvio Fascini still in the hands of the St Kilda trainers. Looks as though he may have a rib injury. Play goes on. Ball up towards the centre wing area where it's punched over the boundary line for a throw in. Slightly favouring St Kilda. They trail by 59 points at the 15-minute mark. Fascini still in trouble. Boundary throw in Egan, caught by Gotch. Play goes on. Royal kicks it high towards wing. Good mark taken by Crow. Oh, he's hurt his ankle, has he? Fascini being carried off in a distressed state. And Crow kicks towards half forward where Hardy leads Barker, but Barker does well. Scrambles the ball, crashed to the ground after he kicks it over the boundary line on the full, and a free kick to Footscray on centre wing. Silvio Fascini being carried off the ground, just lost his mouth guard in the process. Ball kicked up towards half forward, punched over the boundary line by Frawley, and a throw-in will take place quite near the interchange area where the St Kilda interchange player is preparing himself to take Silvio Fascini's place. Burns at the back of the pack, kicks high towards centre half forward. The contestants there, Lockett in front, takes the mark in front of Kennedy. Frustration being shown here by St Kilda, because wherever they go there seems to be 2 or 3 Footscray players. Tony Lockett will kick from very near the 50-metre line. Long kick by Lockett is offline, hits the post, and another behind to the St Kilda side when they badly need goals.
And Fascini coming off now and coming back onto the ground is Whitty. But Fascini, one of the real goes for St Kilda, has never given up. And he's only a little fellow, but has done remarkably well. So that's a sad blow for the Saints. Bradley Gotch, another little fellow that's had the odds against him, puts the ball up high. Fist of Rance. Malin out towards Jeff. Gotch is there. Little fellow, a hip and shoulder. And right into the fence. That doesn't look good. Is Jeff okay? Yes. Oh, I wonder what he said then.
Well, I don't think he was too pleased with what happened, but anyway, he wasn't hurt, which was good. Play goes on. McGuinness on the bottom of the pack, tackled by Narkle. Can he get rid of the ball? No. Umpire, fair decision. A ball up will take place on the half-forward flank in St Kilda's scoring zone. They trail miserably at the moment. They're 58 points in arrears of Footscray, and we've played 17 minutes of the third quarter. Quick kick out of the pack is marked by Cunningham between half-forward and centre wing. Jeff Cunningham, always been a good goer for St Kilda, but he's been struggling of late, obviously. Kicks it high towards full forward at the back of the pack. The high flyer, great mark taken by Lowe. Young player coming into the side, has only played a handful of games. This is his 4th game for the club after being recruited from Mount Eliza. Stuart Lowe. Awkward kicking style, but it's effective, and a goal to St Kilda, and they move on to 7 goals 10, 52, trailing Footscray, who are 16 goals 8, 104.
Well, that's St Kilda's first goal of the quarter, and it came at the 19-minute mark, and they've kicked 1 goal, of course, and Footscray have kicked 6 in this quarter, so that just about tells the tale. But Silvio Fascini going off is a sad blow for the Saints. $52 points lead now to Footscray. Wallace out of the centre. Hardy, no, in front I thought might have been McConville. Manning to half forward. Grant can't get it. Kennedy trying to burst his way through the pack. Wallace off the ground. Burns will come at him. Wallace in trouble as Narkle tries to trap him, but he gets the kick away. Hawkins and Cunningham, Gotch and Baxter, Manning and Petraglia, but there's a free kick and it's going St Kilda's way, and it's going to Gotch. Obviously interfered with when he didn't have the ball. Gotch's 13th kick, and he'll put the Saints into attack. To half forward, Lockett leads out. Kennedy loves to go for the punch. That's what you do when you're a full-back. Lockett held it too long. Malin grabbed by Cronin. Purser, the relieving kick. McConville, favoured by the bounce. McPherson comes at him. McConville a little slow. Elphingston over the top. Back to McConville. McConville's kick to Peter Budge. Waits for it to bounce. Jet comes through and fists the ball over the boundary line for throwing. Some 55 metres away from the St Kilda goal.
Big punch on by St Kilda into the forward pocket area. Low at the back, opposed by Rance. Low does well. Crumb's picked up by McGuinness. Tries to handball the ball to McLean. McLean gives it to Jep. Jep's got a little bit of time. Kicks it towards half back. High flyers required. Crow was there. Picked up by Ford. Ford goes short to Gotch, and Gotch takes the mark. Nearly in the centre of the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Gotch goes back and thumps the ball towards full forward. In front of the pack, Lowe can't mark. Cronin. Lowe does it again. A little bit slow, but gives it to Peter Budge. Peter Budge kick over the shoulder into the goal square. Mark taken by Egan. Play on, says Kennedy, and Egan does so, but kicks it straight to Cunningham. A poor kick by Michael Egan. Cunningham's short kick is a good one and finds Cronin about 35 or 40 metres out from goal. More or less directly in front of goal, and a chance to post St Kilda's 8th goal. Cronin yet to kick a goal as St Kilda trail miserably on the scoreboard. They're 52 points behind. In general play, they're 152 points behind. Cronin punts for goal. Goal umpire moves across, and he's offline, Phil Cronin. And another behind of the St Kilda score, which moves them to 7-11-53. 51 points behind Footscray, who are 16-8-104.
Murray Rance, certainly been an acquisition to the Bulldogs this year. Very solid and reliable. Not a very good kick. Malin can't get it. Hawkins can't either. Wallace is there. Peter Budge putting a little bit of pressure on. Number 22 for St Kilda. But it's still in St Kilda's forward line. 22 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. Ford and Purser. It'll be Purser's free kick because Ford is very frustrated at the moment because Purser's had the better of him today. The kick by Purser is just long. Crow, but it was fisted away from him by Crawley. Picked up by Manning. Manning's high kick, plenty of Footscray defenders. Not much method up forward for St Kilda. Gotch takes the ball out after a good tackle by McGuinness. And there'll be a throw-in 60 metres out from the St Kilda goal, and it's Footscray 16-8-104 to St Kilda 7-11-53.
Hawkins going off the ground. Maybe a disciplinary move as young Eppelston prepares himself for his first run in league football. McGuinness gets the handball out to Peter Baxter. He's got a bit of space, goes through the centre of the ground and kicks it long directly at Beasley. Opposed by Gamble. Hardy gets it, sees McLean running straight into an open goal. McLean, you're going to mess it up. No, he doesn't. Gets onto his left foot, makes it harder, but kicks the goal instead.
No, it's a behind. It was touched, I think, off the boot. Umpire indicating that it was touched. Gamble, the kick in. Grant, a good strong mark. And one of the young talents of St Kilda that the Saints have to persevere with. This fellow has kicked 3 goals, but he's been down in defence. So developing into a versatile footballer. Purser gets the knockdown. Manning falls over, tries to push it wide. Peter Baxter won't gain much with that kick, but McConville is there. McPherson tries to go through. Narkle loses the run of the ball. Ford was on the bottom of the pack. And the St Kilda fans reckon they should have had a couple of free kicks there, and they're giving umpire Rich on this occasion a nice old raspberry.
Well, I think the look on David Grant's face as he got himself up from the bottom of that pack may have indicated that even the players are frustrated with the umpires. Ford gets the tap out, goes out towards Peter Baxter for the Bulldogs. His handball goes to Royal, and Royal does well round the neck, but he still gets his kick to full forward. At the back of the pack, Gamble slips, recovers well. He's now on Beasley and kicks out towards half-back where Elphinstone's made good position. He's opposed by Mick McLean. Magic Mick McLean does it well and goes short, looking for Beasley, and finds him 40 metres out on a rather difficult angle. But we've seen Beasley kick goals from this position on many, many occasions. 16-9 plays 7-11 at the 25-minute mark. And that's no free ad. Beasley kicks for goal. Goal umpire moves across slightly, but it's a goal to Simon Beasley. That's his 6th goal. Footscray 17th. 17 goals, 9, 111. St Kilda 7-11, 53.
Simon Beasley having a particularly good match and is climbing up the goal-kicking ladder. And probably not as good a season as he had last year, but that can be said of all his teammates. But he's kicked 6 goals, and his team well and truly on top. 68 points lead now to Footscray as Percy goes in. Beautiful tap down to Malin. Away go the Scraggers again. Brian Royal. Collins gets him. Little push in the back maybe. Grant cleverly wide to Ford, who's too slow. Peter Baxter traps it well. Footscray doing well, and a good kick by Baxter to Hardy. McPherson could have claimed it also, but Ginger Meggs, the Brownlow medalist, superb. 17th kick. Fancies himself too. He's already kicked a goal. He made his name, or won his Brownlow in defence. Now he wants to try and win one as a forward. And I tell you what, he can do it too with kicking like that. He was a good 45 metres out from goal, and he's put it through for his 2nd goal. And Footscray go further and further ahead. What do you think was behind Malthouse putting Hardy up on the half-forward line? You any ideas, Robbo? Well,
Perhaps just a little bit of bite when the ball hit the ground, although he's not such a spectacular player from that point of view, but he does get the ball, and I think they were struggling a little early, and he seems to have put a bit of bite in that forward line. Ball back in the centre for another bounce forward. This time he gets the tap out over Purser. Low comes through. Peter Baxter has done quite a good job at half-back for the Bulldogs. Kicks it long towards centre-half forward. Hardy, opposed by Barker. Barker threads his way through the pack. Gets it back towards the centre of the ground. Peter Budge over to Alistair Ford. Ford gives it to Gotch. Gotch looks in short. There's heaps of St Kilda players, but they mess it up, which is nothing unusual. Burns tries to break through. Oh, he's opposed by 4 Footscray players. And what happens? The Bulldogs break clear with McLean screaming towards centre-half forward. 2 bounces, looks for Beasley up at full forward, over the back of the pack. Frawley, can he break clear? Gets the hand pass out to Collins. Collins in the clear, gives it to Grant. Grant now handballs to Ford. The lumbering Ford handballs to no one in particular and puts Grant under lots and lots of pressure, and Grant will be tackled by Baxter. He slams him into the hard Moorabbin turf. On goes the play. Collins goes into centre-half forward. At the back of the pack, Callett can't mark. In there is Rance. You're in trouble. Lockett came out, nearly snotted him or pulled his head off, and Rance takes the free kick from a crude Tony Lockett tackle.
Gee, solid Rance. Hand pass to his skipper Kennedy, who's been superb at full-back. Kicks wide for Jepp. Another player that was named as one of the 5 on the interchange and got his spot on the side, who has done well for Footscray, the former Tiger. His kick wide. Petraglia will have the pace, and he does. Oh, he's too quick. He has a shot for goal, and I think he's put it through. A magnificent goal to Angelio Petraglia, and that's his 5th. And he got it with his 11th kick.
Well, what an acquisition Angelo Petraglia has been for Footscray. This is his 18th game since coming from Port Melbourne for the Bulldogs, and he's kicked now 18 goals this year. Play restarted. Purser gets the tap out. Grant's under a lot of pressure. So is Cunningham. Handball goes wide to Manning. Manning kicks long to full forward. Kellett. Good mark by Mark Kellett, because he must have known there were players bearing down on him. Gets back onto his right foot and with scintillating pace comes across centre half back. Kicks it out to the wing. Attempted mark by Baxter. Cunningham does the recovering better. Grant in there for St Kilda. Gives the handball to Burns. Burns in short. And a very, very fortunate Phil Cronin puts his hands out on the ball. Sticks like glue. Cronin inside the 50-metre line. A chance to kick St Kilda's 8th goal. Kicks to the front of the square. Low at the back, can't mark. Neither can Lockett. Kennedy. Quick kick out of the pack towards Kellett. Over the top of the pack. Oh, down goes young Epplestoon. And he's been crashed to the head by Burns. And many incidents like that go free in a game of football. Why a free kick there, I don't know.
Mail in the chance. Oh, Cunningham now. Let's see if St Kilda can make something of this. They won't, because Purser's there as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. And a great corner once again to Footscray. And there's Kellett down on the ground. In fact, we shouldn't give a diagnosis, I guess, but Kellett, I would say, is winded. We'll just wait to see that they get him up to his feet and walk him around, which they normally do when a player is winded. Yes. I think he's just got a touch of the wind. And there's the three-quarter time score. Footscray 19-9, 123 to St Kilda 7-11, 50.